Before she could speak, Toran rose from his chair, smirking. "Captain," he called in a lazy voice, "we all know who started this mess." The captain lifted a brow. "Go on." Toran pointed, not at the strangers, not at the cloaked men, at Elara. The tavern erupted again. "What are you doing?" Elara gasped. Toran shrugged. "That man grabbed her when he came in, didn't he? Maybe he was trying to tell us something." "That means nothing," Brennar roared. But Gaul stood, his voice cutting through the noise like a knife. "She talked to him before he died. She went straight to him. Maybe she knew him." "I didn't," Elara protested. "He stumbled in and collapsed." "Convenient," Gaul said coldly. "Too convenient." The captain watched her, unreadable. The stranger beside her stepped forward. "That accusation is baseless," he said, voice steady as stone. "If she meant harm, would she kneel in front of the entire tavern with him dying against her? Doesn't make sense." Gaul's lips twitched in irritation. "And who are you to speak for her?" he sneered. "Someone who can count," the stranger replied. "His wound was fresh. The killer fled before he reached this place." "Unless the killer was waiting inside," Toran said. Eyes turned again toward Elara. "No, not all of them. Some turned toward the cloaked pair, some toward Toran's own brother, some toward the stranger." Suspicion thickened into something poisonous, something eager. Elara felt her pulse quicken. This was no investigation. This was a tavern full of frightened men looking for someone, anyone, to blame. The captain raised a hand for silence. "We will find the truth," he said. "Soldiers, question everyone, thoroughly." Gaul leaned close to Toran and whispered something. Toran nodded slowly, eyes glinting. The cloaked pair slipped closer to the bar, whispering urgently. One of the captain's soldiers dragged a man from his seat, demanding to inspect his knife. Tension wound tight as bowstrings. The stranger stepped closer to Elara. "These men aren't here to investigate," he murmured. "They're here to clean up loose ends." "What do you mean?" But she already suspected. The dead man had said, "They're coming. Don't trust." Don't trust who? The watch? The brothers? The cloaked men? Everyone? "Listen carefully," the stranger said. "Before this night ends, someone will try to pin this murder on you. They need an easy answer, a distraction. If they can control the story, they can hide the truth." "And what is the truth?" Elara whispered. He hesitated. A long moment passed. Then, "A message went missing," he said finally. "Something important. Something dangerous. That man was carrying it before he died. Someone in this tavern killed him to take it." Her breath caught. "And now," he finished quietly, "they need to make sure no one asks the wrong questions." A soldier approached them. "You two," he said gruffly. "Come with me. Captain wants a word." Elara swallowed. The stranger looked at her, calm but alert. "Stay close." As they walked toward the captain, Toran's grin widened. Gaul's hand rested on his knife. The cloaked pair shifted their cloaks, revealing the faint glint of steel. And the tavern's lanterns flickered, shadows dancing like restless spirits on the walls. Tonight, the Bent Chimney was no longer just a tavern. It was a trap, and Elara was standing at its heart. The captain watched Elara and the stranger approach with the cold patience of a man who already believed he knew the ending to this story. His armor gleamed in the lantern light, dark metal polished not for ceremony, but intimidation. The men around him shifted uneasily, as if their discipline depended entirely on the pressure of his gaze. "Stand here," the captain ordered. Elara obeyed, though her heart beat hard enough to shake her ribs. The stranger stepped half a pace in front of her, subtly shielding her body from the nearest soldiers. It was a gesture so quick and quiet that no one else seemed to notice, but she did. The captain's eyes hovered on the bleeding corpse at their feet, then on Elara. "You were closest to him," he began. "What did he say before he died?" Elara swallowed. "He said only a few words. He said, 'They're coming. Don't trust—' and then he couldn't finish." "Don't trust who?" Toran called from across the room. His voice dripped with mockery. Elara ignored him. "I don't know." "You expect us to believe that?" Gaul taunted. "She's telling the truth," the stranger said. The captain raised a hand to silence the interruptions. "This man," he said, pointing to the corpse, "was a courier of the governor's watch. He carried information vital to the safety of Brimhold. Someone here has it. Someone here killed him, and that someone is going to regret it deeply." His voice carried like a blade sliding across stone. Elara felt heat crawl up her spine. "Captain, who sent him? And why here?" "That is none of your concern," he snapped back. The stranger's lips tightened. "If it involves her, it becomes her concern." "Who are you?" the captain asked, eyeing the man with narrowing suspicion. "You're no farmer, no trader, no pilgrim." The stranger remained silent for a moment. "A man trying to mind his own business," he finally said. "But if you drag this girl into your mistakes, I'll stop minding." Gasps rippled through the tavern. Brennar muttered something like a prayer. Toran let out a low chuckle. The captain stepped forward. "Is that a threat?" "It's a fact," the stranger replied, quietly. The captain gestured to his soldiers. "Search them, both of them." Before Elara could protest, 2 guards grabbed her arms. Panic flared inside her chest. The stranger tensed as a guard reached for him. Steel flashed. It happened in a blink. The stranger twisted his wrist, disarming the guard with a fluid motion. His sword clattered across the floor. The stranger grabbed the guard's forearm, pulled him forward, and swept his legs, sending him crashing to the ground. The tavern erupted with shouts. 3 more soldiers rushed him. He stepped back, dodged a blow, then slammed his elbow into another guard's throat. But he never drew a blade. He moved with the precision of someone trained to injure, not kill. "Stop!" Elara cried, but the chaos drowned her voice. The captain unsheathed his sword. "Enough of this." A cup shattered against the wall. Someone screamed. A chair overturned. And then a sharp whistle pierced the air. It came from the cloaked pair near the window. The room fell into sudden, unnatural stillness. Even the stranger froze. The 2 cloaked figures stepped forward. Their movements were smooth, too smooth to be common travelers. As they removed their hoods, the room collectively inhaled. Both were women, tall, sharp-featured, with matching dark braids and black leather armor beneath their cloaks. Their eyes were hard, cold, and utterly calculating. "These men," the taller one said, are wasting time." The captain stiffened. "Raven Wardens," he muttered under his breath. A low murmur spread. Even Toran's smug grin faded. The Raven Wardens were not typical mercenaries. They were assassins, government-sanctioned hunters trained to silence threats to the kingdom. Their presence meant something larger, darker, was unfolding. The shorter woman approached the corpse and knelt beside it. This man was carrying a coded message. "Where is it?" No one answered.